I saw Dennis Itumbi. He was saying that, oh, we are forgiving, forgive us. See, they are luring you so that you can drop your guard, you can start using your Safaricom numbers, and then they'll kill you one by one. Ruto never forgives. If you saw what he did to Francis Ogola, you saw what he did to the lawyer, Chalo Mbobu. He never forgives, and he has the blessings of Britain. He has the blessings of the EU. He has the blessings of Denmark, Sweden, Norway, Holland, Finland, Uganda, UAE. Those are the countries that are backing these despotic, killer, genocidal baboon. So please know that politics is not a joke. Stop consuming news by face value. Connect it to your daily suffering. Connect it to your oppression, to your suffering, and then we can move forward together. We are going to change Kenya. We are going to change this country, whether they like it or not. I've taken this short break from my workout to remind you that politics is not a joke. This is not a drill. When you see hyenas congregating and having coalitions and pretending that they are building consensuses, this is not a coincidence. This is by design. This is what the colonialists use to divide us. Every day they have to play an us versus them game. When Ruto was campaigning, he was saying it is hustlers versus dynasty. He has gone back to kiss the to suck the of the same dynasty he was maligning back there. You have always been together. And this is by design of the British colonialists. When they left this system, they made it sure that we will never get out of the block. You are where you are because the British have endorsed it. This is all by the design of the British High Commissioner, Neil Wigan. He's the one who had even seconded Faith Odhiambo and Irongo Houghton to that sham compensation committee, pretending that they are going to compensate for dead people. How can you compensate people who have gone dead? How can you compensate David Chege's parents, who was shot outside Parliament Road and his brains from a bullet by a Kiganjo D- idiots? That's why I'm telling you, useless pieces of shit. Politics is not a joke. Stop celebrating Gideon Moi. Gideon Moi is an asshole. He's an asswipe. He's an idiot. He's a moron of epic proportion. He's a thief. He's the one behind Mobilizing. He's the one behind our high power costs. Because those independent power producers, what they did is that Kenya has sufficiently enough dams to generate electricity. What did they do? They went and drained dams, and then they paid Githeri Media. In fact, they own the Githeri Media outlets to say that, oh, evaporation is causing the dams to dry, but they drained the water so that they can create an artificial need for their independent power producers. That's why on your bills, you have fuel adjustment levies. You have to connect your daily suffering to these pieces of shit, to these political scumbags, to these demagogues and despots. That's why we are saying, forget water. Even if you see an idiot like Rigathi Gachagua, he's there pretending that he's an opposition. He's not an opposition. Just a few months ago, he was sacking Ruto's. Why would you promote him? Why would you share his shit? Why would you say cousins or 2-term or 1-term or whatever? We are saying this system must fall. We are saying that everyone behind our oppression must high noon outside parliament. We are saying that we are going to turn over a new leaf. We are going to represent a new face of Kenya, of young people, and we have the numbers. We don't have to listen to these useless pieces of shit. You don't have to follow the influencers. You saw I've been telling you about Cornelius Kipkorir Rono. He's an You look at him, poverty has eaten even his brains. He has worms. His brain is a decomposed rat. That people, the people you follow, the people you worship, the idiots like Jim Jue from Embu, the Embu people. You're being controlled by a scammer like Jim Jue. You want to elect Billy Mwangi. Those people, they faked their abductions, or Bernard Kavuli. You have to stop following these people. You have to learn. There's a lot of resources at your fingertips, but you're too lazy. You want to watch Githeri Media. You want to follow nonsensical gossip stories. Come on, man. This is not a drill. This is your life. Let me tell you something that you don't know. Do you know South Africans, they don't go to Middle East to do the jobs that Kenyans do? To go to become butchers, to do manual labor. They don't do because their economy, despite all their flaws, anytime they protest, the government listens. You guys, nobody has heard you. Ruto is treating you to charade after charade. He was even pretending to cry. And some of you were carried away by his fake tears. You're carried away by his consensus calls, or you're seeing him being conciliatory. I saw Dennis Itumbi. He was saying that, oh, we are forgiving, forgive us. See, they are luring you so that you can drop your guard, you can start using your Safaricom numbers, and then they'll kill you one by one. Ruto never forgives. If you saw what he did to Francis Ogola, you saw what he did to the lawyer, Chalo Mbobu. He never forgives. And he has the blessings of Britain. He has the blessings of the EU. He has the blessings of Denmark, Sweden, Norway, Holland, Finland, Uganda, UAE. Those are the countries that are backing this despotic, killer, genocidal baboon. So please, know that politics is not a joke. Stop consuming news by face value. Connect it to your daily suffering. Connect it to your oppression, to your suffering. And then we can move forward together. We are going to change Kenya. We are going to change this country, whether they like it or not. Viva, comrades. Toxic era of the Moi regime has now reared its ugly head. And I told you, the William Ruto regime, the Kenya Kusha shit show, there is no difference between that and Moi. In fact, they've reverted back to the same rule book, the same playbook, where now they want to grab the parastatals. Now Parliament has now been reduced to be a lame duck, where they just rubber stamp anything that comes from the executive because they've been bribed with 10,000 in the toilet. You understand? Which is why when we are talking about overhauling the governance structure you must make sure you don't re-elect anyone, first of all. And then when you're electing, you start vetting. You're not going to remove somebody. You start vetting your politicians now. And don't forget, as we agreed, no boomer is going to vote. You're going to do all it takes to make sure that your parents and grandparents and your aunties don't go and vote that day. I don't know what you'll do, but you have to negotiate with them and tell they must stay at home and not vote in 2027. And we can't be having these people still calling the shots, because you've seen this Kenya Kusha shit show have reverted back to the same blueprint, because they are intellectually malnourished. They are intellectually deficient. They cannot think of new ways to stimulate the economy, to generate new wealth, which doesn't need to cannibalism of public coffers. They are no different from Moi, from Biwott. So Kenyans, it's up to you. Do you want to continue on this trajectory? If the answer is no, you have to make sure you wake up and vote. You have to make sure that your boomer parents don't vote, because the boomers were silent when this economic genocide was being inflicted by Moi and even Kenyatta era. They were silent. Now they want to grab even more assets, and the grabbing will mean that the services that you're now accessing for a certain amount of money will multiply tenfold. Kenya Power, when it was being sold, it was still the same characters who are in the picture. And now you're seeing the bills are inflated. Every month they're being inflated by close to 40% by the corrupt Kenya Power.